Hi, I'm Kit from kitpakes.com and I'm here at uSwitch today with math wizard Rachel Riley. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Rachel is a switching ambassador for uSwitch and she recently visited Winkley in Devon to help people to switch on to better energy tariffs. What did you discover on your trip to Winkley?
It surprised me how many people hadn't ever switched. So Winkley, we went there because there was the biggest opportunity for switching because the fewest people in the country there switch. And a lot of people there, especially the older generation, they thought that it was better to stay with the company because companies reward loyalty, whereas they don't.
No.
So, you know, I think they were surprised at quite how much they could save and how easy and quick and painless it was to switch.
Yeah.
So I think it was, it's on average £290 per household you can save by switching gas and electric in a year. And I think the most we saved one person that day was about £500.
Wow.
So it's fun.
So, yeah, with households who switch from the standard tariffs, they can save £290 a year. If I gave you £290 right now, what would you spend it on?
I was asked this recently because I do switch every year, so
Good.
I've easily saved that, but I don't think of it as, oh, that's free money that I'll go and spend. It's more like, well, I don't want to burn that £290 giving it to a different energy company, but my friends have got 3 of my best friends are pregnant at the moment, so we're trying to arrange like a last day out for the girls. We're going to go for an ice cream tea, and we're always kind of fighting for who's going to pay for it. So a big group of us going for cream tea in London. I think 290 quid would cover it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
What made you work with uSwitch?
It's a no-brainer really because it just benefits the consumer. There's customers, 60% of people are on the standard rate tariff, so that's the most expensive rate. There's absolutely no reason for anyone to stay on that rate because it can take you 15 minutes to switch and save money. So it's about getting the message out there. It really is a win-win for the consumer. And just telling people how easy it is. I mean, you go online, if you have an app, if you have the uSwitch app now, you don't even need to look at it, at your bill yourself. You just point the app at the bill, it populates the whole form and tells you how much money you'd be saving across a range of different companies and different tariffs.
Yeah.
So it's just about getting the message out there. You know, energy companies are the only ones benefiting from you staying on this tariff that they've most probably rolled you onto, whether you're aware of it or not, if you haven't switched in the last year to 18 months. So it's about driving competition. There are cheap deals out there for you. There's nothing stopping you getting them. You don't even need to contact your old supplier. You don't have to haggle. You don't even have to talk to a human, have any awkward conversations. You can do it all online in the space of 15 minutes. Yeah. And you'll be having, you know, like I say, hundreds of pounds in your pocket that potentially would just be being burnt on the same product with a cheeky company charging you more for the same thing. Yeah.
So let's talk more about you. Like me, you're from Essex. How was it growing up in Southend? Were you constantly down Peter Pan's playground in the arcades? Or was it life a bit more sedate?
Yeah, well, my mum used to work in the AMF bowling alley on the pier. So as a kid, if we go into her office, one side looked out on the old side of Peter Pan's, and then they built the new side, so you could see that. So that was like a real treat. If you got to go to Peter Pan's, that was the best. But yeah, it was nice. I mean, a lot of my best friends now are still from Southend girls when we were teenagers there. And it's a nice place to go back to. I love Leigh-on-Sea. Yeah. Whenever friends used to come and visit me on the train and just have, you know, the cockle sheds and the cobbled streets and the sea to look out on. It's just so close to London but so different.
So you've got a younger brother.
Yeah, he's 30 today.
Oh.
I need to message him.
What kind of big sister were you when you were growing up? I mean, I've got a big sister and she used to annoy the hell out of me, but you know, she was and she still is very protective. How were you when you were growing up with him?
I think I'm the sensible older sister to him, and he's got about 8 tattoos, probably even more by now. Every time I see him, he's like, "Is that new?" Oh, I just got it coloured in. So yeah, we're quite different in some ways.
Yeah.
I'm definitely the sensible one that's always telling him pay off your credit card bill. Don't spend extra money on this. You can get this cheaper. That's not sensible.
Switch energy suppliers.
Switch energy suppliers. Yeah, exactly. So I feel like I'm doing the older sister job for everyone at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a good boy, and he's got a little son now. He's 2.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really cute.
Good. So I think I'm right in saying you've got A levels, a degree, a postgraduate degree, and a master's degree.
I've got the masters in maths. Yeah, that's
yes.
the top I got.
So
yeah.
is there anything else you'd like to achieve academically, or is that it?
Academically? Well, I'm learning Russian.
Wow.
And that's more because I did French at school, and when you're learning a language at school, you learn it in a completely different way. So I'm learning it for a reason now. I'm learning it because I want to be able to speak to my boyfriend's mum and his friends, and his mum doesn't speak English.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of using your brain again, and
yeah.
it's using, trying to remember stuff and have little techniques to keep things in your brain, but there's an actual purpose at the end of it. So I'd like to be much better than I am at Russian one day.
So talking of education and stuff, you're quite an advocate of sort of more geeky subjects. Do you have any tips or advice for girls thinking about careers in STEM areas?
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of work trying to promote STEM at all ages. So, you need to get more younger kids interested in maths, because then if they're not interested by any time, 7, 11 years old, they're never going to be interested when they're older. So there's work there. There's work to get more people doing A levels, more people doing degree subjects, and then using those degrees in mathematical or STEM-based jobs.
Yeah.
And we need to get more girls doing that. And I think you just need more female role models in working in like all these different areas of STEM, whether it's aeronautical engineering, using maths and algorithms to make websites better in shopping, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think anyone, but especially girls, they need to hear about other women they can relate to doing those jobs. And there's it's just a lot of psychology that holds girls back. There's no difference between brains, obviously, but it's kind of in this country, there's people say I'm no good at maths as a proud thing, and especially mothers giving that attitude unintentionally to their daughters. We need to kind of break that cycle. There's been studies where they give girls and boys a maths test, or men and women a maths test, and they do roughly equally, and then they give men and women the same maths test, a different set, and they make them tick a box to say whether they're male or female before they sit that test. And in that case, the women don't do as well because of the psychology. If we've been told for so long that men are better, women are creative or whatever, whereas I've been saying the jobs in science that are available now are some of the most creative jobs around, because you have to think of questions that have never been thought of before you then find the answers to them. So there's so much psychology holding girls back, and we need to just stop all the bad messaging and have a positive attitude towards maths.
Okay. Now, one of your rules for life is to not argue with idiots. It's also
getting harder.
Yeah, it's something I try and live by. How does that work when using social media?
Yes, it's becoming more of a challenge, especially the climate at the moment. I think even in the last 6 months, a year, for me, I think it's certain political people who are giving a voice, that they're promoting not knowing what you're talking about, but saying it loudly. And I think we need to celebrate scientists, we need to celebrate experts again, and not dismiss them. I once did a tweet for a charity dog event that I was going to. They said, going to All Dogs Matter event, hoping to cuddle lots of lovely dogs. And 4 people replied saying that some dogs don't like being cuddled. And I thought, well, if some people can complain about a charity event about adopting dogs that have been mistreated, then there's no hope, and you just need to not worry about pleasing everyone all the time, because you can't do it.
No, exactly. No, I agree. So you're a massive football fan and worked on Sky Sports. Do you think we'll ever see more women presenting football or working as pundits, because it is quite male dominated at the moment?
I think it is at the moment. I think that's partly because it's only been men that we've seen play football for a long time, and now women's football is becoming more and more popular. The Women's World Cup, it was shown on Channel 4. It's giving it a prominent a profile,
Yeah.
so you can easily access it. Some of the stars are now stars; they're household names. And Manchester United, my team, just announced that they want to have a women's team from next year.
Yeah.
You know, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, a lot of other teams are already doing great stuff. But for
Yeah.
me, that's, you know, having my own team that I can support with females is only going to lead to more presenters and more acceptance of women in football.
Yeah.
And changing attitudes. So
Yeah.
it's got to be a good thing.
Okay, so let's talk a bit more about your work. 2018 is your 9th year on Countdown, and will be the show's
It's my 10th year.
10th. Oh my goodness, sorry.
Yeah.
It will be the show's 36th year on screen. What do you think has made it last so long?
Well, what I used to love about it was after school, when I was little, I'd go home and me and my brother could play each other. Whatever age you are,
Yeah.
you can, you know, get cat, dog, and you can work up, and the same with the numbers. It's something where kids can play against their grandparents, whereas, you know, different quiz shows, the older you get, the more knowledge you've got, and you know, child's going to be able to answer questions about music from the 70s. But Countdown, it's the format, it's the letters game, the numbers game, and that's what people love.
Yeah.
And that's why it's lasted.
Yeah. So which one do you prefer working on more, the original Countdown or the Cat Stars Countdown, do you think?
I like both. I mean, for me, they're totally different to work on. It's a slightly different studio in the same building, but different production team, different day schedule. When we do Countdown, we do 5 shows a day for 3 days.
Yeah.
When we do Cats, we do 2 shows in a night.
Right.
And they kind of take 2.5 hours for the comedy shows that then get snipped down.
Yeah.
So it's nice having the balance. And I think I always say Countdown's the side of yourself that you show your grandparents, and Cats is the side that you show your mates. And
That's a
nice
very good analogy.
being able to show both sides.
What is your fondest Countdown-based memory?
They're all quite rude. Probably.
I did see when Ryan Giggs came on.
Yeah.
That was his 1,000th show.
1,000th episode, yeah. That was a massive surprise.
I bet it was.
Because I didn't even know it was my 1,000th episode.
Okay.
Never mind Giggsy being round the corner. So that was incredible. And now I've done 2,000 shows.
Yeah.
So time flies.
It does.
But it's mostly just Nick accidentally saying things that he doesn't realise are funny.
Yeah. And he's quite dry as well, isn't he?
He's quite dry, and I know all the rude words, and Susie and Nick don't know any of them, so I've kind of given them an education.
So back in 2013, you appeared on Strictly. So many of the participants say that it's sort of how amazing it is and how it changes their lives. Do you feel the same way? I mean, obviously, with your other half.
Yeah, no, it did, but I think the biggest thing was I was getting stage fright when the music came on. I was fine, like completely calm, happy. I loved the dancing, especially the training was brilliant. And then as soon as the music came on in the live show, I just have like brain fuzz. And through that, I had CBT, which I'd recommend to anyone, cognitive behavioural therapy. And the Michael taught me that I'm a perfectionist, which I didn't realise. And I think that's another thing that holds girls back sometimes. Speaking to my friends, we all had the same kind of mindset as whenever we did something, afterwards we'd pick on the little things that went wrong. And he taught me that before you do anything, if you think about what would be a good outcome from it, so before you interview someone, think about what do I want to achieve from this, and when you've done that, you can be pleased about that rather than pick on I was a bit nervous here, or I said that wrong. And that it just helps. And that's the biggest thing I guess I took from Strictly, as well as Pasha and loads of friends, and getting to dress up all sparkly.
So you got through to week 6. Were you disappointed to leave, or grateful that you didn't have to do all the sort of hours of training?
No, I love the training.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. And I was working on the Gadget Show in Birmingham, Countdown in Manchester. So I was sometimes getting 3 hours sleep a night and doing like 2 different jobs with 11-hour days as well as the training. But I love the training, and no one ever wants to leave early, I think, because you always know what you're going to be doing next week, what dance you're going to be doing, what music, and you don't want to let your partner down. And you only get one opportunity to do this ever. So it was like, it still hurts now. Still want to go back. But que sera, sera.
So are there any celebrities that you'd like to see doing Strictly? I mean, does Susie Dent have some moves, or could Jimmy Carr do a Paso Doble?
Susie wouldn't Susie's the shyest person in. Never mind working in TV. She's so modest, and she just would not like being the centre of attention.
Oh, okay.
Nick has been asked.
Oh, really?
But he's 74, and it really is physically demanding. And he just says it's too much, and I think it's probably a good decision. And did you see Nick on the Bake Off?
Yes.
I mean, I think he should just stop there for reality TV. You can't beat that. That was like the best thing I've ever seen. So funny.
Yeah, he was brilliant on that. I loved that.
I got one tweet with a picture of Nick looking really sorry for himself with the croc on bouche, and it said, "I'll have none from the top and none from anywhere else." It just summed it up for me.
So when I was doing some research for this interview, I found a clip of you on Room 101. Is there anything you've thought of since that you'd like to put in Room 101?
I mean, everyone would want to put people on Twitter that say rude things in there. I think that's kind of, you don't even need to say that.
No.
But that took some thought, actually, because I don't like being negative too often. That's what draws the trolls in.
Yeah.
And that did draw the trolls in. I guess I've recently become vegan, and I've had loads of food intolerances. So people that have force their opinions on you about food, I think it's the same for me. It's a bit like religion. Like, you have your own views, I'll have my own views, and I won't try and convert you. You don't try and convert me.
Yeah.
And that's, respect other people's choices.
That's a good one. So, what is the weirdest gift you've ever received from a fan?
I got a dress that was a couple of sizes too big and a packet of 5 bargain tights.
Nice.
But the guy was so sweet when he gave them to me. And he was so genuinely nice. But it didn't really fit.
No, that's a bit strange.
But it's really nice to try.
So what is next for you? What are you sort of doing? I mean, obviously more Countdown.
Yeah, more. We've started filming a new series of 8 out of 10 Cats Countdown as well.
Right.
So we've filmed 4. I think we've got at least another 8 to go for the series. So that'll be back soon, which is nice because we had a little break from that. I mean, loads of little things going on. I'm about to go to South Africa on a charity visit.
Oh, okay.
With a charity called Grassroots Soccer.
Yeah.
And I've never been to South Africa on a charity visit. So to actually go and see, I interviewed David Beckham at the end of last year for them as part of World AIDS Day. So to actually go and see the people that it benefits will be, I think, I don't think I'm quite mentally ready for it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay,
so last question. Who inspires you?
So many people that I just... I mean, a lot of my friends and my mum. We had... I think now, with the social climate, I think it's forcing people to be a lot more vocal about their views. So if people say things that they believe in that might not necessarily be popular, like Chris Packham, I love Deborah Mead and so outspoken, and she just always gets it spot on. Definitely admire people like that. Deborah and Chris.
I like Deborah Mead.
She's brilliant.
Yeah,
she was a great friend that I became really good friends with from Strictly. She's lovely. Hey, Deborah.
Okay, that's it. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me.